Welcome to Toni Unleashed, the podcast where we unleash the truth about all things pets.
Our research and anecdotal evidence matched with pet expert interviews will help you help your pet thrive.
We are here to answer questions, divulge information, and spread awareness about what's really going on in the world of pets.
I am your co-host, Emily Taylor, pet nutrition enthusiast and Healthy Pet Products employee for the past 6 years.
And I'm Toni Unleashed, owner of Healthy Pet Products with 3 locations in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, and recently expanded to Port Charlotte, Florida.
Welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Toni Unleashed. Today we're going to talk about something that every pet parent has probably worried about. Those late night pet emergencies. What do you do? Well, we've got a great new service to share with you called Pets After Dark. It's an after-hours tele-health service for pets that's changing the game for nighttime pet issues. To explain how it all works, we're joined by the founders, Dr. Caroline and Howard Simard-Swimmer, with over 30 years of experience in veterinary care. They've created something truly special for Pittsburgh pet owners, but really it's more than Pittsburgh, right?
Greater Pittsburgh area.
Greater Pittsburgh area for now.
For now, yes.
So welcome, Caroline and Howard.
Thank you, Toni. It's great to be here.
Great to see you.
So glad
Thanks
you're
for
here,
having
and
us.
they are in the house.
Woohoo!
First, I do want to know how you both met.
Oh, that's cute. I have been at the Point Breeze Veterinary Clinic for 21 years now, and I've known Howard for pretty much all that time. I came to Pittsburgh from Montreal with my ex-husband and started working with Larry Gerson at Point Breeze. And over the years, I saw a few dogs of Howard's in and out. I always had a little bit of crush on Howard, but I was married and he was married. And then at some point he wasn't married, but I was still married. So, it just like went on that way for years and years until one day I wasn't married anymore.
And Dixie chipped her tooth. That was what Dixie chipped her tooth, exactly. And so you go see whatever vet they'll get you in with it because it was an emergency. So of course I went in and I saw one of her colleagues at the time, which is a funny story. Fast forward, this was Dr. Honigman, who is head of the WPVMA. And she was one of the vets. Yeah. And so I saw her because she was the first person that
that was available.
And she saw my dog and she said, well, the tooth is maybe going to die, the whole thing. She said, let me take the dog in the other room and weigh her. And she comes right back and she says, true story, she says, Dr. Simard is in the other room. When she's done, I can go back in her. I said, tell her to get her little butt over. and so she comes in and like only she could do. She looks at Dixie and she says, nah, she's going to be fine. Just like that. I mean, completely opposite of what Dr. Honigman said. And so I sort of laughed and smiled. And then she looks at me, she says, how's your love life?
Really? Oh, I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm French Canadian. We're nothing if not direct.
I love it. So you fit perfectly in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. No messing around.
And that was it.
And we've been dating since that very day.
Wow. And how long ago was that?
7.5
2017.
27. So 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's been great. I feel like life has been an adventure with him, and definitely this new project of ours is all encompassing and we're both so passionate about it.
Yeah.
I love, what we came up with. And
so how did you come up with it?
Oh, that's also a Howard story. Go ahead.
Well, I think, what happens, what you realize is veterinarians, they come home and their whole practice comes home with them.
Yeah.
Right? Their clients come home and Caroline has an uncanny way of just being compassionate and so attached to her clients and they love her. But every night someone would find her on Facebook or someone, when we started dating, someone would call me that I hadn't seen from high school. Your wife is a vet, right? Is she available? Like 10 o'clock. And I haven't seen this person. And so what I realized is Caroline is always available. She was always going to make herself available. And then I think COVID happened and it became even more intense.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you know, because you've experienced it. And, people
came to us for help even.
Right. People were desperate to, get help, see a veterinarian.
Yep.
And I know, as a pet store owner, I'm sure people would come in and say, tell me what's wrong with my dog because I can't get to my vet. And so I think people were suffering, and there was an explosion of animals in households, and it just became really, really strained. And we had more and more and more people call us at home.
Right. And then it just became,
and at some point,
we have to monetize this.
And then, of course,
this.
there was, the ERs were also overwhelmed. Like the whole profession was cracking at the seams.
Truly. It was a breakdown of the system.
Yeah.
Yep.
And at some point, the ER started like posting, or doors are closed.
Yeah.
This is code black. We can't see any more emergency. And I was like, what are people supposed to do now?
Yeah.
What are people supposed to do? And, slowly but surely, this idea kind of churned in. And then, in the morning, I'd get to work and people were like, I didn't know what to do. My dog's been vomiting all night. And, I can't spend the whole night at the ER waiting to be seen. I've got kids. I've got a job. I didn't know what to do. So it became very apparent that there was another layer of care that was needed. And by that, I don't mean we're replacing ERs because we obviously are not. But what if we could offer something additional to people where if they have a question, if they have a concern, if they just want to chat about their pet's care and they don't have time during the day because they're at work, why not, reach out to somebody who will make themselves available after hours to discuss anything from non-urgent to non-emergent to, an intoxication, for instance, and immediate decontamination even before you go to the ER. So the possibilities were so endless that we got really excited about it.
It wrote itself. Do you know what I mean? Like as we started talking about it, and Caroline would come home and say this happened. And I think once we sort of dug in, said, well, what if we could do this? And I was like, okay, I think we can do that. We designed this whole system ourselves in the back end, right? Obviously we paid developers to build it, but we designed the whole thing, and it does some really cool stuff. You call in and you get a vet in 2 minutes on the phone, a Pittsburgh vet. Only Pittsburgh vets answer the calls.
Wow.
You get connected to that vet in 2 minutes.
Wow.
That vet is able to do a video call with you instantly. If you need to go see your vet tomorrow, we know who your vet is. We have your medical records in our system. So you call, and even if your vet isn't the one that answers the phone, we know, oh, okay, sure, we have your
We know all of Layla's medical history. For instance, we know what medications she's on. We know her current medical conditions so that we can offer the best possible advice for Layla, not generalities.
Sure. And that's if I had the prescription service.
Right,
correct.
Exactly.
So you offer
that and a single consultation.
Okay.
So, and we'll come back to the subscription in a minute, but so the
Sure.
difference is, the single consultation is you're just one time. You haven't subscribed, you need us, you need help. So you call, you pay a one-time fee, and then basically the main difference between the single consult and the subscription is we don't have your medical records, and we aren't able to book you an appointment the next day.
Right.
So those are sort of like the crown jewel
Sure.
of our service.
Right.
Sure.
The next day appointment
Is
definitely was like
gold.
also because when we came up with that, and it still is really hard to get to your vet the next day. Let's say if you have an ear infection, I understand it's not an emergency, but it hurts. It's uncomfortable. And then people, I'm sure you saw this, can't get to their vet the next day because you don't have time and you get scheduled an appointment in 10 days. But meanwhile, your pet's suffering.
Yep.
So then you end up online buying God knows what products
Yep.
to try to relieve your pet, or, you know, going to you, Toni, and saying, what do you have for my dog's terrible looking ear right
Yep.
now? He's in so much pain. What can I do? So, you know, for these situations, people who are subscribers will be guaranteed a next day appointment at their own veterinarian.
Wow. So have you created relationships with the...
We continue to create relationships with veterinarians every single day.
Okay.
So over the weekend, we sponsored the continuing education symposium at the Hotel Indigo for the WPVMA. So there's 50 veterinarians in the room there.
Nice.
So, and, you know, we have clinics in Finleyville, Blairsville, Greentree, Seven Fields. I mean, so all over this, and then obviously in the city. So everywhere we see a vet, we go and we try to get a hold of them. So we know that, you know, today I actually went to see a vet in our neighborhood because we've had clients asking, my vet doesn't participate.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, yeah. I mean,
So it's so funny that you say Blairsville because I'm born and raised in Blairsville.
Are you really?
Like for you to just pull Blairsville out of all the towns.
There's a new clinic out there. It's called
Right on Main Street.
Yes.
It's Market
Yeah.
Street
Right.
actually.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
young woman,
Yeah.
I've heard.
Ashley DeForno.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
was actually, she reached out to us.
Did she?
Before she opened her practice to, because she was like, okay, I'm going to be a vet working alone in this practice. I don't want to do emergencies or after hours. I live, you know, Blairsville is not close to a vet, or, you know, what, this seems really cool. And so sure enough, she reached out to us, and then, you know, we met with her. I have to tell you, I love that part of what we do because it, you know, creates this community of veterinarians that otherwise wouldn't necessarily kind of occur because veterinarians are busy and they tend to stay in their own environment and their own bubble. And here we are going to like make connections with everyone. We see them in their own environment. We learn to know them. One thing that's really near and dear to my heart about Pets After Dark is that if somebody calls and they're anxious, they want to know that they're going to talk to their own veterinarian. It's not always possible. So if it's not their own veterinarian, it's somebody who knows their vet, which is why it's so important to make that community, because as soon as you know you're in kind of known territory, like, for instance, if you called and you said, Christy's my vet, and I say, well, she's my best friend, wouldn't you already be like, oh, okay, I'm in good hands, right? So that's what I want to form in the greater Pittsburgh area, is this community of veterinarians who all know each other, who all know how we practice, who all kind of have the same goal, the common goal of assisting people.
It's more retail than it is veterinary from that perspective, because really, you know, you have pet owners from all over the city comes and shops in your stores, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of the same thing. And I think one of the things that we've been able to really interestingly tap into has been this idea of knowing veterinarians all over the city.
Yeah.
And there's no other business that does that, right? I mean, some of the clients will go to this ER over here. Some of the clients will go to that ER over there. But, you know, we have the ability to be connected to all of them. And
and I think that network is so important. Like you were saying, Caroline, I mean, and we've lost that from COVID.
So true.
So, and even with pet food stores, like when we meet customers wherever, well, I'm out east, and I say, well, where are you? Greensburg. Well, there's a great locally owned pet food store in Greensburg. Go to Pedagogy. You know what I mean? Like, there's no we're a community.
Yes.
We just want what's best for pets and the pet parents. And I love this idea.
So I
do.
You know, one of our subscribers who subscribed relatively early on, and it's sort of a funny story because it was a mother and daughter. And the mother subscribed, and the daughter said, was saying to the mother, you know, my dog's sick, but I can never get an appointment there. So the mother says, you got to wake up at 7:45 in the morning and be the first call of the day to get the appointment. So she said, I'm going to do that tomorrow. She overslept. So her mother said, you need pets after dark because then you don't have to work. And she subscribed that same day. But the long story of short with her was that she moved out of the city
to Cranberry.
Oh. And she reached out and she said, I'm going to Cranberry. I love this office. What do I do? And we got her into Seven Fields, which is another vet practice that we do.
Great
business
vets,
with.
great people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of part of the service where we connect people and clients to veterinarians. And, again, it's the community aspect of this whole thing, which I really...
Yeah, and we got her in there. And then we sent our records over for her.
Nice.
And then she was done, and she sent, and they reached out to her that day. So there's a concierge piece to it. That's kind of neat. It doesn't really exist.
Well, that's really great for people that are terrible with paperwork and records.
Now, when you introduced us, you said something about, pets after dark for after hours emergency, or what to do when, something's wrong with your pet. And I think we're thriving to be even more than that. We want to be the resource for people, even whether it's a second opinion, whether, you want to talk about something that your vet doesn't have time to talk about during a 15-minute appointment. Just on Sunday, I was on call. And I spent 45 minutes talking about microbiome, dysbiosis, fiber, prebiotics, and just having a really cool, nice conversation about somebody who had questions about their pet's digestive health and how they should handle it. And I'm having so much fun doing that because I also have time to be able to kind of, share what I know, share what I've learned over the past 30 years and not be rushed through a 15-minute appointment where I have to get through arthritis, all their masses that they have everywhere, their dental health. And then, I'm sorry, I won't have time to get through, everything else you want to talk about. Now we can.
So do you feel like, do you think you have vets in your network that are more holistically minded as well? So
Absolutely.
If you've got raw feeders calling in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, that's the whole point of a community.
Nice.
Not everybody's the same.
Right. So some people like to do acupuncture or chiropractic with their pets and not jump to medicine right out of the gate and explore other options.
And so we send a newsletter out every week, okay?
Yeah.
In our newsletter.
Every week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we...
Ish.
Yeah. I'd say 9 out of 10 weeks. Yeah, pretty much. We're pretty good at it, yeah. But we get guest writers, vets from all over the city. And we've done a feature of chiropractic. We've done a feature of acupuncture.
Great.
Dr. Schroth was a contributor. Wow. Dr. Levolsi, who's an animal chiropractor, contributed to that newsletter.
Had Dr. McKellop from Blue Pearl wrote on brain cancer study that he was doing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so, you have doctors chiming in from sort of the different parts of the city, and it's also a great way to be able to deliver information to the community that they otherwise wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
You said, people do different. Yesterday someone reached out to us and said, do you guys treat bunnies? I said, well, we have a couple doctors that do pet bunnies, that do exotics, but if you need she said, well, I need a new vet because my vet's retiring. And we turned her on to a practice that...
And that's hard to find, a small animal vet anymore.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So what about euthanasia? Or when it's time, it's time. Like, do you, because I know about, are you going to cry?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to cry.
So,
but I don't think that story is for public consumption.
For public consumption. It's funny, though.
It's funny.
Oh, no, it's funny.
You have to laugh sometimes about death.
Oh, for sure.
You have to lighten things up a little bit. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Anyhow, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. Euthanasia.
So if a subscriber or it's an emergency call, they don't know what to do, I'm assuming a vet would counsel them through that.
Yes.
But, I know there's Lap of Love, I think it's called, that's like an on-call. They will come. Is that who you would refer? Like, would you refer that out, or do you have vets
We do
in your
not
network
have
that do that?
veterinarians that work for us, on-call vets who actually do house calls, or on-call vets do telehealth, and that's it.
Okay.
There's Lap of Love. I think Dr. Ruffing, who's a hospice veterinarian,
Oh my gosh,
also.
she's still doing it?
Awesome. She's still doing it. And yes,
Gotta be.
but still doing it.
Totally.
So much. Anyhow, but yeah, so here's the thing. When I've been on call, I've had to answer a few calls where people didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And on a few occasions, you know, and this is where I love doing the video calls, because sometimes people have a tendency on the phone to minimize what's happening. Literally, I had somebody call and say, yeah, my 15-year-old Labrador is having little seizures, and I don't know, you know, she hasn't seen a vet for a while, but blah, blah, blah. And I was like, immediately, you know, switched them to a video call, and was like looking at their dog, and she was in status epilepticus, and she was not having little seizures. She was dying.
Oh.
And I actually, you know, very kindly told them what was happening, and this was a very dire situation, and they lived close to MedVet in McMurray. So then I called MedVet in McMurray. I told them what was going on. I told them I was sending a pet. Then I called back these people, and I said, McMurray's waiting for you. And it's done in a very humane way, but sometimes people just call to know what they need to do, even if it's euthanasia.
They ask us too.
Yeah. And
you're a surrogate vet. Literally, you
sure.
are.
And
I'm sure you know that after how many years you've been doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some people call me Dr. Toni.
Yeah, of course. And just because people don't want to trust their own feelings sometimes when it comes to the final decision.
You're an expert in the field, though. I mean, you've been in the industry for a long time. You've heard about a lot of examples. I'm sure you have plenty of friends that are veterinarians.
Yep.
And so I mean, it doesn't make you a vet, but it also doesn't make you a novice. I mean, you have years of experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that in all the boutique pet stores.
Yeah.
And
we just try to listen.
Yeah.
And
which is usually what
that's all they need. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They just need to be heard and understood, especially, and we certainly understand and empathize.
Yep.
And usually we just say, you know, when it's time.
Yep.
You know, you usually know.
You know.
So,
but this is also what Pets After Dark is based on, you know, empathy, listening, you know, offering an ear. You like to say taking the temperature down. People call in a panic, and you're just like, you know, it's going to be okay. We're going to help you through whatever it is you have to do. We're going to help you through it.
And I would think the emergency vets would actually appreciate this service.
They do. So Blue Pearl is kind of doing a thing with us where we're the only business that they will advertise that is a
non-exclusive,
non-Mars.
Blue Pearl, non-Mars owned. That they actually advertise in their waiting rooms.
Yeah, and then there have been occasions. Thank you. There have been
huge.
That took a year of meetings, negotiations, more meetings, and just kind of to make them understand we want to help you help people. And sometimes when you get overwhelmed, you know, maybe what you need to do is kind of help us help you, right? And so now there's a few instances where people call us and they're like, well, I just called Blue Pearl and they told us to call you.
So devil's advocate. So I've called Blue Pearl and other emergencies when I'm en route, and they are like, whatever. They're pretty much like, whatever. We don't really care. Just get here. We'll deal with it then. I'm assuming they take that completely differently when you guys are calling.
Completely. Yeah. Because when there's a few times where people have called Blue Pearl and been told we're busy or we don't have time, or this doesn't sound like an emergency. I remember one in particular who was like this cute bulldog, much older, and she was bleeding from the mouth. So people hear that and I'm like, it's probably fine, see your vet tomorrow. So then the lady was like a little bit like, she didn't know what to do. She calls me. I do a video call. The lady's in her bedroom. The dog's on her bed. The bedroom looks like a crime scene.
Oh.
The dog is hemorrhaging.
Oh.
Okay. And so Blue Pearl told her, you're fine, wait until tomorrow. There's a 10-hour wait.
Because they didn't see, in their
Sure.
defense,
They had no
didn't see
idea,
the pet,
right?
okay?
They had
Totally
no
They didn't do
idea.
anything wrong. They just didn't see the pet.
And
She was
then-
probably hysterical.
Yes.
So when they told her to call me, I called them back. I spoke to the doctor and I said, I just spoke to so-and-so. This is what's going on. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to send her now and you're going to see her immediately. Sure enough, she drove there. She was taken in the back immediately. And it's just because somebody else put an eye on this dog and was able to realize the dire situation.
I am
or,
1,000% subscribed.
Second
So it's what, we, yeah. Oh,
second
sorry. Yeah,
example. This lady calls us and I do a video call. Her 2-year-old Labrador ate her whole bag of food. I'm sure you've heard about that as well. The dog is having massive bloat. She's uncomfortable. You can see the 40-pound bag of food in her stomach. She's drooling. She's doing down dog. You can tell she's in so much pain. I don't know if this dog has gastric torsion.
You're right.
I call Blue Pearl. I arrange the whole thing. The lady goes on her way. And I called her back after and she was like, I was in and out in an hour and a half. They took care of me. I got in right away. She threw up. I was out of there. And then she says, that was the best experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Who says that after
Yeah.
going to an ER with a dog with bloat? So I pride this service in facilitating, veterinary care,
Yeah.
and making it accessible and just taking the stigma out of ERs if you have to go to an ER, just making the whole thing easier for people.
We built it into our system also.
Yeah.
So, this thing is, we refer to it as a warm transfer, right?
Yeah.
So the vet answers the phone, whoever you're on call with. And then when they determine the emergency room they're going to do, our system automatically sends those records, sends their so if you're calling us,
Right.
we have your medical records. If you're going to the ER because we sent you there, we send those records over to them.
Right.
So when you get there, it's sitting there waiting for them.
Right.
And so they can have blood work they can compare to. They have x-rays they can look at. They have your medical history.
Or, and this literally happened to me, what if you're traveling, a pet owner is traveling, and the dog becomes sick, and the pet sitter or neighbor or friend or my store managers, one of my managers, all of my managers basically kicked in to take care of my dog. Like, it would
have done that.
It would have really, they would have still had to physically get him there, but it would have been.
We have done that. We
Really?
have had subscribers who, had their pet sitter call us.
Yeah.
And that was really reassuring to them because we kind of, took care of things while owners were away. I have another example that I want to discuss, and now I forgot. The first one was... Oh, and then there were this really sweet couple who were traveling and camping in Maine with their dog, and the dog got sick in Maine and called us. And they were a Point Breeze client, and they called Pets After Dark at 10 o'clock at night because the dog became extremely ill. So we were able to facilitate transfer to an ER in Maine. And, so it's really just about making things easier for people who are in a panic.
Yeah.
Is it obvious that I love
Yes.
it?
It's so obvious. I think
I love it.
It's really, you know what, though, we work so hard on it.
hard.
And I think one of the things that, what's cool, you run a small business, okay? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's cool in a small business, and I've been sort of serial entrepreneur my whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been in a lot of
get
different industries,
Yeah.
and every industry that I'm in is so very different than the last one. But I'm able to take, things from here and things from there and put them here.
Totally.
But because it's the two of us primarily making all the major decisions, if we see a need for something, or we get feedback, or we see something that could be better or tweaked or a feature, we can get it into the system in a relatively efficient fashion without, a whole complicated process of being able to have to go through to make something unique happen better. And I think that, the passion that Caroline has, I think is her personality, first of all. And second of all, we're proud of it because what we built is really an amazing product. I mean,
I think it's
so
genius.
cool.
And
It's so cool.
And very needed.
There's other telehealth services on the market. We're the only telehealth service on the market that actually is connected to primary veterinarian.
Huh.
So it's really unique. It's a really unique piece of the puzzle. And it also is what we find to be, our most valuable property, because being able to connect you to your vet tomorrow, and your vet's going to have a summary. When they get there tomorrow morning, your vet's going to have a summary that we spoke to you.
What we recommended, what was said, whether they need a next day appointment or not. And it's like continuing the loop of continuity of care. Really. It's like, there's no interruption of care at nighttime.
When did you start Pets After Dark?
So we launched in January of this year.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize it was that
We're new.
young.
Little baby.
So do you have to be a subscriber to get the newsletter?
Nope.
No. Okay, so just go to the website.
Just sign up. And we're happy to... the other thing I'm really passionate about is that newsletter. I just love, as a veterinarian, writing about things that are either emerging diseases, just because it helps give a heads up to veterinarians, in the area and be like, hey, I've been seeing a lot of anaplasmosis. And actually, the dogs come in sick. They're not just positive on their test. They're sick.
Yeah.
Their platelets are tanking.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind if they come in with a fever. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Or I saw a dog with, I'm going to nerd out a little bit and say Fanconi syndrome.
I've never heard of that one.
So remember about 10 years ago, there was a thing about melamine in dog food from China and how it could affect dogs' kidneys.
2007 pet food recalls.
Correct. That's Fanconi syndrome.
Oh.
And so I saw a dog recently. And basically what this is normal glycemic glycosuria. So dogs pass glucose in their urine with normal blood sugar. A little bit like people on Ozempic, except it's not. It's caused by something that they eat, whether it's like... what are these things that you eat?
They were a form of...
they were a treat, but people eat like these like jerkies.
Jerkies.
Right. So jerkies that are not from America. And then, anyhow, this dog comes in and he has Fanconi syndrome and he's been drinking a lot, peeing a lot. And I start doing a lot of detective work because I see he has glucose in his urine and his blood sugar is normal. They were giving the dog 4 or 5 milk bone gnaw bones, which is like a chew bone. That one's made in China. See? As opposed to everything else, which they manufacture in Colorado. The gnaw bone is made in China. And just miraculously, when we stopped giving the gnaw bones, everything stopped. And the dog's much, much better. Everything's back to normal.
Wow.
But imagine the power that I have being able to write this newsletter and warn all my other fellow professionals about this happened to me. Just watch out for that.
I definitely love that.
So, of course, I love that.
Yeah,
love that.
And I mean, it's a great resource for pet owners. It's a great resource for anybody in the pet community, veterinarians, retailers. I mean, we have all of the retailers read our newsletter. I can tell you that for sure. Right. So we know that to be the case. And I mean, I think that that was nifty detective work on Caroline's part. I gave her a big credit for
Yes.
that because it was pretty amazing the way she drilled into it. And then what's funny is after we sent that newsletter out, like 3 or 4 different people said to us, "Oh my God, like everything made sense. I was giving my dog that." And, so.
But one a day, and they're not going to exhibit symptoms, right? It took 3 or 4 to build up in the system, and then it's like
and then suddenly you're
Fanconi
like,
syndrome.
so again, community outreach, information for people.
Yeah, we do videos. We did over the summer. We did a video on heat stroke. We did a video on poison, toxins in the system. So we were able to do that kind of thing also, which is kind of neat. Dr. Schroth did a video on fleas and ticks, recognizing them, what they are, what you're supposed to do. And they're like, 4 or 5 minute long videos, but people like them. People watch them.
Yeah.
And, so I think the key is in the process being able to develop a library of information while we're doing this. I mean, we've been doing this since January, which doesn't seem like that long. But then when you go and you look at all of our different blog posts over months and months and months, it's like, wow, we have some good information in here on a lot of different topics. So.
Yeah.
And last but not least, another thing I'm really proud of is our contribution to HARP.
Yep.
And so we've made a relationship with the Humane Animal Rescue of Pittsburgh to basically provide access for people who don't necessarily have access to care. So we're going to donate subscription to the Humane Animal Rescue so that, they're going to be choosing who
gets them, right?
Who gets them. We also want to
donate some money, some of our proceeds from our business to them as a
because they have a mission we really believe in, especially keeping pets at home.
Yeah,
with people instead of abandoned because they can't afford care.
They're doing great work. I mean,
they are.
It's hard.
And access to care, I think, is important for everyone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What a great
that's
story.
That's what we do.
Great beginning. I think it's an amazing service. I absolutely am going to subscribe. Okay, so if I have multiple pets,
it includes all the pets in the household.
It includes all
per
of
household.
Okay. Not that I have a slew.
Nope,
I don't have time
per
for a
household.
slew, but I have 2.
There's a funny story. There's a client of Caroline's who is
up to number 11
cats.
Well,
and Caroline was out of town. I think she was at a vet conference one weekend, and I get an email from this woman, and I know her a little bit because she's been a good customer of Caroline's for long. So she sends me an email, and she says to info@mypetsafterdark.com, "Howard, are you able to give me a call for a minute?" Okay. So I'm like, okay. So I said to Caroline, I said, so she called, and she's like, well, what does she want? I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna call her. She said, you sure she want me to call? She said, no, specifically Howard, please give me a call. Okay. So I call this woman. How you doing? I was like, she says, well, so I got, don't tell your wife, but I got 2 more cats. I said to her, she's gonna know. You're going to see her next week. I mean, this can't be a secret, right? It was so funny. She's like, I guess I never thought of it that way. I said, well, how did you think of it? And she's like, well, I just want them in the system. I said, okay, but then you want her to get an appointment next week to see the cats. I mean, it was so funny. I mean, it was such a funny, don't tell your wife. I said, she's gonna know. She gave me a secret. She's
hysterical.
She's sneaking around behind her veterinarian's back. I mean, have you ever heard of
cats?
We have an employee that she's worked for us. She's a part-time, but has been with us a long time. And we've always known that she's had a lot of cats, but it took her years to tell us.
How many?
20.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 20. And they're all, they're all rescues. And then she takes care of others. We have a customer that's, she just has a heart of gold.
Yep.
So great.
So, she has 20. And that girl comes to work, and there's not a hair on her. There's not any, because there's no odor. There, you don't smell cat litter. You don't smell cat.
Amazing.
You'd never know.
Amazing.
You would never know. And I guarantee you her house is exactly the same.
It's probably a full-time job.
Oh, and she works at Banfield full-time and for me part-time.
Unbelievable.
Right?
probably for her cat.
Truly dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
Truly dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bless her heart.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
She's a sweetheart. I'm sure you'll meet her sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss anything about this amazing service?
I think you got it. I think that,
Okay.
you know,
Yes. So tell us website. I'm sure that's where we sign up.
www.mypetsafterdark.com, and you just subscribe there, and then it'll prompt you to enter your pet name and your how many pets you have, what you have, and then you
Link the
authorize
vet.
us. Yeah, you put your vet's name in there, and then you authorize us to get your medical records.
Oh.
And then you check out, and then we reach out to your vet and get your medical records. One of the questions that people ask is, what if my vet doesn't participate?
Mm-hmm.
They will. If we haven't gotten to them yet, we will. And
Mm-hmm.
there's been numerous examples because we're so new.
Mm-hmm.
People sign up and their vet, isn't somebody that we've networked with. We just reach out to them the next day. And
And then you know what we do, which is really cool? We go meet their staff. We do a lunch and learn. We bring them lunch. We bring them materials. We get to know the whole staff. It's really fun.
Yeah. I think this would be great to do at the stores.
Yes.
On the
Yes,
store level.
We'll do
Sure.
it.
Absolutely.
We're happy to.
for sure.
I mean,
Our people would love to
yeah.
not only be a part of it, but then they would be able to
Yep.
promote it and
So
talk about it.
the other funny bit of it is that I'm from Montreal, right? So I've been here for 20 years, but I don't think I would call myself a Pittsburgher per se, because I'm still discovering the greater Pittsburgh. So for me, it's even more exciting because every time we go somewhere new, I'm like, ooh, this is really nice here. So we were
That's
in
your girl.
Delmont one
Right.
day,
Delmont.
and we
Right,
stopped
Delmont. Okay.
somewhere to
Do a lunch and learn to pick up
do a lunch and learn. So we pick up, and I just Google where can we pick up lunch, and we end up at Iani's Pizza, and we walk in there, to pick up our 10 pizzas we ordered, and I'm like, holy shit, it smells really good in here. Look at this place. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, we're coming
coming
back
here
here
for
for my
lunch.
birthday.
Aw.
Fast forward, Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports
That was after.
went there, about 3 weeks after we were there, and then a week later, the place burned down.
So that
Oh, no.
It
Literally, the place burned down
It
last week.
did.
There was a
Last
a
week?
big
Yes.
massive fire inside the place last week.
I know.
Oh.
Heartbroken.
Barstool.
Oh,
Exactly.
are they going to be able to?
They
Well,
said they
said
would
they
like
would. Because they were making this salad and they were grating this fresh
It
Parmesan
looked so
cheese and it
fresh
looked so
and
good.
gorgeous and
it smelled-
delicious
they
and
like a
beautiful.
wood-fired oven in there where they're making pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been in Delmont, it's one street.
Yeah, yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
not. I don't even think it's a whole street. I mean, that's not nice.
No, that's not nice.
It's a half a street, but a good one nonetheless.
Anyhow, so stuff like that, and I'm still I feel like a tourist. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is so fun. Look,
How
ooh,
about
Delmont.
we went out to? We have a clinic in
Finleyville.
Yeah.
They have a cute little chocolate house, not far from that
Right.
hospital,
We wanted
which
to bring
is
them something, in the way in.
and it's like a pink house, and it's filled
store.
with candy and
Oh.
chocolates,
Oh.
and I
did not-
It's
Unbelievable,
great.
right? It's so great. I mean,
I don't know about this
It's like
place.
you find these little spots
Yeah.
around the city. Yeah, I mean, that's been
I love it.
cool.
It's a massive treat for me. Just explore.
And I got salted caramels nonetheless.
Salted caramels are
good,
the
yeah.
best.
Mm-hmm.
And so, did you go to Blairsville and meet?
Yeah, we've been out there.
Oh
a lot of
yeah,
times.
we've been to Blairsville.
We
Yeah,
did an open house.
yeah,
with
we
them
did
when
an
were
open
first
house with
there.
her at her open house.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We should do an open house at your stores.
I think
is what
we
we should do.
yeah.
We come,
Yeah.
we set up there, talk to your clients.
Yeah.
That would be
You
fun.
could be there
Yes.
for Healthy Pet Day. That's a big event we have in May.
Yeah,
We
that
could
would
have
be
done
fun.
neighborhood pet store day. I mean, we can talk about it
Yeah.
for sure.
'Cause
I
we've
mean,
done
it's
open houses at different clinics and stuff. Where,
It's a
we sit up there
no-brainer.
for 3-4 hours at a time. And
Yeah.
you get to talk to the clients, and we can
Yeah.
do like a something fun to feature your event. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
No, we definitely need to
for sure.
talk more about your service. It's amazing.
Well,
Seriously,
thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm kind of
Thank
mad
you.
I didn't think of it myself, but that's the serial entrepreneur coming out
Think
in
about all
me,
the
Howard.
good dog food you sell. Okay, I mean, there's that, right? I mean, so it's a unique thing.
Okay, so petsafterdark.com.
No.
My
Pets After Dark.
mypetsafterdark.com.
Because
There's a
don't
pet-
send them to petsafterdark.com.
What is it?
Well, no, that's not their Twitter. There was a Twitter account when we were trying
So when we tried to get the domain, petsafterdark.com is taken by some sort of porn
I was
anime
gonna say, well, just like
thing.
Animal Friends. You Google Animal Friends, all kinds of shit comes up.
Yeah. So that's why
So
we
great,
became
My Pets.
mypetsafterdark.com, and it's fine. So it's
Right.
mypetsafterdark.com.
Yep.
And your Instagram
is
Pets-
pets underscore
after underscore dark.com or
right.
dark. And are you on Facebook?
Yes. Pets
And
After Dark.
TikTok and
Yep.
all the things. YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Everything. We're Pets After Dark everywhere but our website, which
Gotcha.
is My Pets After Dark.
I
so
understand
Yeah.
how that all. Yeah.
it's a crazy
Yeah,
thing.
it's-
But I think at this point we've been in the internet long enough that if you type in Pets After
Yeah.
Dark, it
It's
you'll get there.
your SEO is a
You'll
little
get there,
better
right.
now that
A
you've
little
been
better
out
than
there.
It was for 9 months, 10 months. Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
That's our story.
Well, I love the story. I'm thrilled to have you,
Thank
and
you for
especially
having
in the
us.
house.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
right,
Thank you.
exactly.
That was really fun.
You are genuinely unleashed in your house,
Right?
Right? I mean,
I
this
didn't
is-
swear. Did I? That's like probably the only episode
Do you
I've
want to
never
get a couple
sworn.
in now?
All right. So, are you ready for the dogs?
Absolutely.
So before Caroline and Howard, before we let them completely sign off, we're still going to stay live.
Yep.
And I created my dogs before they came in. Are you getting them? All right. Just make sure you put Layla's collar on. So Layla is an 8-month-old Great Dane puppy. And
I can't wait.
Bo is a cattle dog. So let Bo come to you, especially you. And he'll be 13 in January.
Wow.
And there's a whole story behind Bo. But all right. Yeah.
What is the story?
So hi.
Hi,
Here's
guys.
a Bo-Bo. It's a Bo-Bo.
Hello.
Go say hi. That's Caroline and Howard. He's not very
He's a cattle dog.
he's a cattle dog. He's
That's
not very social.
On
He
his
lives
own
to
terms.
eat. He's on his own terms. Yeah, he's got to just
Hi.
don't even try to.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
We have
He's-
a pulley at home.
You have a what?
A
Oh,
pulley.
I did see. Hi, babe.
Ah,
I know. And if she jumps,
that's okay. She's fine.
I'm not supposed to let you.
Hi.
Doesn't know.
And our pulley's
Your mother doesn't
independent.
know I let every dog in the world
are
jump
pulleys
on me.
typically?
She's yes, but this one especially.
My best friend. This is my best friend, Caroline.
Oh, look at that. Who took a plunge because of the tail? Hi.
So, my boyfriend and I broke up about 2 years ago, and we had 2 cattle dogs, a red and a blue. Mm-hmm. My red one died in February. Well, I kept the red. Bob took Bo, the blue one, when we broke up. You know how that goes. So when my red died in February, I took a break, but then she came along. She's a foster failure. Mm-hmm. And then June 18th, my ex died.
No.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch the news much, but he was the mountain biker that was electrocuted in North Park.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So Bob had Bo, and he died June 18th, and I picked up Bo June 19th.
So
that's
sorry
terrible.
to hear that.
So Layla's 8 months
Hi,
old,
Layla.
and Bo will be 13
Who
in
are you named
January.
after, Layla? Are you named
So
after
it's
the Cream
been
song?
very challenging navigating.
Sure.
But we've made a
Two
lot of
different
progress.
Personalities.
Totally.
Well, we had
And-
that though. We had that in our house. Pretty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty intense. I mean, we have a 3-year-old Aussie
Uh-huh.
and a 10-year-old
Crabby pulley.
Krabby Pooley. Right. And
The
so-
Krabby Pooley.
The Krabby Pooley.
I know you're.
So Christy's Aussie does.
Oh, yeah.
Devi. And Devi and Mabel, my Aussie, are besties. Mabel, I just don't take her as much. Like, I feel like Devi, Christy's dog, has become Point Breeze therapy dog. You know, she's there every day. And, you know, she gets spoiled.
She's super sweet, Debbie. Yep.
Mabel comes sometimes, but it's been a while. I used to take her to work more to give Dixie a break. But now the girls get along a little better, and they're happy at home.
For them to, you bring a puppy into a 7-year-old dog's life that's been living alone as a 7-year-old.
Okay, so wait, who has dreadlocks, who look like pull toys, with a 2-month-old puppy?
She was pulling and chewing them. And Dixie, and it's so funny because for months, she would just sit there and let her do it and tolerate it. And then all of a sudden,
she was like, enough.
Mabel was big enough and old enough that Dixie said, okay, that's enough. Right, exactly. And then, so there was a moment there where I think we worked through that a little bit. But it took a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, I think anytime you put two dogs together, you have that thing.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, sweetheart.
Thanks, everyone. Caroline, Howard, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us. The dogs are lovely, and so are you.
Aw, thank you. That's very sweet of you. All right, signing off for now. Talk to you next time.